Hi, how are you? This is Anthony from Cypher House Escape, and we're starting our own YouTube channel about puzzles and puzzly things, and just puzzles in general. So hopefully we'll be doing some solving of puzzles on this channel, and demonstrating some cool puzzles, and maybe we'll even put a few puzzles of our own up for you guys to try out. But for today, I wanted to take a look at this, the Reddot hunt. It's a recently run puzzle hunt, which means you have to solve a bunch of different puzzles that in some way will link together and help you solve a larger meta puzzle. So the very first puzzle's right here. It's called A Vibrant World. Down here it says, identifying targets who could help with this case is not just black and white. There's kind of a larger box here with the word welcome down at the bottom. None of this seems to be like something I can interact with. But it also isn't like an image. Like if I right click, it's all part of the web page, so it's more like an application or something than an actual image. And then down here at the bottom it says find TCX, and there's a prompt to enter in 6 numbers and then check it. So one thing that I'm noticing right away is that the title of the puzzle itself is up here. It's A Vibrant World. And when I think of vibrant, I think of like bright colors and just kind of things that are pleasant to look at. And then down here it says identifying targets who could help with this case is not just black and white. So I'm seeing 2 references to colors, and specifically brighter, more interesting colors than just the black and white that we're faced with at the beginning. I'm not sure what TCX means. So let's try Googling TCX. In puzzle hunts, you're allowed to Google things. Nothing is immediately coming up. It's boot manufacturer. Find TCX. So what happens if I just like, oh, that's interesting. It separates the digits into a 2-digit number and a 4-digit number. All right. What happens if I just try this? Nothing. Absolutely. Oh, what is this? Does that mean I got some right? Oh, is this like Mastermind? Let's try all zeros. Oh man. Okay, so things could be white or black. I'm thinking this is like Mastermind. Okay, so in case you aren't familiar with what Mastermind is, I'm just entering in like guesses for what this number could be. And then there's a number of boxes that show up over here. If they're empty, that essentially means that that the digit doesn't appear in the final result. Now, they don't necessarily go in order. If I get a white box, that means I have a correct digit. So like, this tells us that the 0 is a correct digit, but it's not in the right spot. So there is a 0 in the final answer, but it could go in the second spot or anywhere in this last set of 4, but it doesn't go in the first. These black ones tell us that there's a digit somewhere in this number that is in the correct spot. Okay, so the 0 goes there. Now let's figure out where the 1 goes. When we find it, yeah, we'll have 2 black boxes. Okay, so we have a 1 and a 0. Let's try some 3s. It should be 160545. Yeah, we did that. Okay, now target identified. Why are there? Now we need to find the target. Well, this is kind of cool. So what is find the? Oh gosh. These look like hex representations for green and red. Like overall shades or something. And then there's also 2 other hex digits. So the red value is 9C. Let's try that here. If we go to 9C, okay. The green value is 9A. 9A. That's looking pretty correct. And then our blue value is 40. I'm gonna guess it's this one. Target found. Who's next? Alright, so we're gonna have to keep doing this. I'm gonna just quickly open up an Excel document. Okay, let's move on to the next target. Who's next? I'm gonna guess this works in the same way. It does not work in the same way. Oh no, okay. So what's this telling us now? I'm guessing if just black is in the name, so black coffee, black olive, and blackberry cordial, which is a great name for a color, by the way, I'm guessing those all count as black squares. So this tells me there are 2 zeros and 2 ones. This is white asparagus. So that's like the white boxes before. It tells us that the 0 is a correct digit, but not in the correct place. So it should be 110205. Got it. Who's next? What are these up here? Blackberry wine, blackberry cordial, white pepper. I feel like some boxes similarly showed up after I identified the first target, but I didn't write them down and I probably should have. I'm guessing it's going to be a final game of Mastermind when we find enough of these that tells us, like, that gives us a final color. Let's find out. This looks more like a hex or RGB number. I think for the blacks, I think they're using the first digit to tell you how many there are. So I think this tells us, so like here, the first 2 digits tell us, is just 0, so that means there's 0 zeros, but the 02 here means there's 2 ones. The second 2 digits are how many white squares you have. Sweet. Alright, who's next? Let's find out. We are back to boxes. Oh gosh, they're colors now. Because finding culprits isn't always black and white. It looks like white is still white. Yeah, or tan, or some shade of white. And then colors are now substituted in for the black squares. I think that's the rule this time. Not a 5. Okay, let's try an 8. Hey, we found it. And this time there's 2 blacks and a white. I wish there was an indicator as to how many you needed to find, because I could be doing this for the rest of the day for all I know. Bay. So here we have a 6, a 4, 2 2s, a 1, and a 0, with no 3s or 5s. Wax yellow. I'm guessing wax yellow is very light. Okay, we found it. So there's definitely at least 3 blacks. Wet weather. I don't remember seeing wet weather. Well, I'm gonna leave it as a question mark. We have 3 confirmed blacks. Okay, so we're back to a now more complicated version of the hex code. I'm seeing 0, 0, and 6 right away, though, so I'm guessing there are no zeros in this. Let's see if this changes. 2 in the first slot, and 4 over there, so I'm guessing there's 2 1s. B, A. Good job, Mastermind. You found all immediate targets, but who is the ultimate one? Okay, so we're going to try to solve this final Mastermind puzzle. We have a lot of black results to work with here, so that's probably going to make it easier. I'm really liking that preliminary 1. because if there's a 1 at the beginning, then that takes care of this black that every single one has, because they all start with a 1. The fact that there's no more in this row tells us that there isn't a second 1 anywhere, and there's no 4s or 5s. I kind of like that 0 in that spot, I gotta say. Let's put a 0 here. So that means that we've satisfied this black, this one, and this one here. It also tells us, because there's no more up here, that there is no 6. I'm going to try putting the 2 at the end. That would satisfy this, and this. I'm thinking maybe I need to know what this was at some point. That color was one that hadn't shown up a lot, and I think we'd seen most of the black colors in this set. So I'm going to say the 2 probably appears later on somewhere in here. The 2 can't go in this slot, so that means the 2 has to go here. We have another black, so it's got to be the 8 here. And then this last one's got to be a 3. Okay, so this looks good. Let's look up TCX 180322. That's Cypress. Cypress. So that should, if all goes well, be our final answer to the puzzle. Correct. That was a palatable answer. Good one. Okay, so that was the Vibrant World puzzle from the Red Dot Hunt 2018. We want to give a huge thanks to the Red Dot team for designing this awesome puzzle and giving us permission to post this video. If you want to check out this hunt or any other puzzles by these designers, there's a link for you down in the description below. Let us know what your thoughts are on this video, and if there's any other puzzles or other content that you'd like to see us create over here at Cypher House Escape. Happy escaping!